In this video, I would like to show you how you can get started. Because this is the question that I get asked all the time after people took my course. They're like, okay, you taught me so many things, but where exactly do I start? And I have a very simple answer for you. And that is, first of all, just simply go back to the beginning of this course. So what exactly did we cover in the beginning? Now, in this course, we covered in the beginning the anatomy of the brain. So basically, what we looked at is how the brain is shaped and also, of course, where information are being stored. Now, the basis of starting a new life in the sense of learning is to realize that information can be saved in multiple places in our brain. And as soon as you realize that a certain information can be stored in multiple parts of the brain, we also become more aware of the methods that help us to store information in one of these or multiple of these parts of the brain. That is the first thing that you want to do. You want to just tell yourself, alright, information cannot just be stored in one certain place, but could be stored in multiple places, and it's easier for the brain to retrieve an information when the brain knows that basically in multiple places we have an information stored. It's like you would, for instance, write yourself a reminder. You would put it in multiple places of your house. Of course, it's more likely that you'll actually remind yourself of that certain thing that you want to do, of the certain thing that you want to remember. So the second step then is to realize that there are different kinds of learners. So there might be something that you're really good at, a certain kind of learning that you're really good at, whether it's an auditory learner, a visual learner, whether it's a reading, writing learner, or a kinesthetic learner. You're one of those most likely, and you most of the time have one preference. Now, personally, as I told you, I'm more like a visual learner. I'm quite, let's say, a person that is a visual learner. I quite have a focus. Now, of course, I also am an auditory learner, but I'm not really a kinesthetic learner. I don't really, it doesn't really help me to learn. But for you, perhaps, it might be different. So you first of all want to figure out, all right, what exactly is my preference? And then afterwards, what you want to do is you just simply want to use the methods that I taught you here in this course. And you want to use the 8 intelligences in order to explore a certain topic. And you want to use the different methods that I showed you in order to make sure that an information is stored in multiple parts of the brain, and you always want to make sure that you use the learning methods that I told you about. So basically that you start off by, well, looking at the information, by going through it, for instance, memorizing key terms, using the 8 intelligences in order to make sure that, the information is stored in multiple places. And then in the end, of course, you want to repeat and you want to reflect. And I just want to urge the point of repetition again, because if you don't repeat, all of these methods are not going to be helpful. So you need to repeat, and also you need to develop an analytical thinking process, which basically is for you to understand, all right, what works and what doesn't work. If a certain method does not work, then try it a couple more times, because at a certain point it might be working, but if it seriously seems like you're not getting anywhere, then just simply don't use that method. Move on to the next one. Be creative, try out new things, and try to connect things that you've never connected before. So when you do that and get this kind of analytical thinking process in place, you're very soon going to realize that there are certain methods that you can work with very well. Now, my recommendation is to not just work with all the methods that work well, but actually to work with methods which are difficult for you, because then your brain is going to work much differently and will help you to store information in even more places. And your brain itself is going to become stronger in the sense that it becomes faster. It becomes, let's say, it adapts itself to a certain new environment. And that is, of course, what we want. That helps us to boost our brain. So this is personally how I got started and how I think you should get started as well. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see each other in the next video.